Welcome back. Army Cadet is up next for drivers from 9 years of age, and I'm joined by the young man in second place in the championship coming in, but the championship leaders had a bit of a mare so far, and you've had a good meeting. Just tell us what results you've had so far, because I know you're going off pole for this televised final.
Well, in qualifying, we qualified second, which was good, and then in first heat we managed to get the win, and then in the next heat we started second again. We managed to get third, but still good points for the championship. And then in the final, pre-final, we started second and we got the win and we drove away, so it's really good.
Okay, so you won that quite comfortably then, and going off pole for this televised final, you might be looking at, I mean, Cian could have come in here, Cian Jewis, and won this championship this weekend. It's now looking like you might be going out of this round potentially with the championship lead.
Yeah, it looks really good for end of the weekend. Hopefully we just get top 3 in the final and then hopefully it'll be good. Okay,
well, 4th in last year's championship. You're hoping to go 3 places better, undoubtedly.
Yeah, definitely. We'd like to take the British Championship this year, going into KF next year, so hopefully have that under our belt will be good.
So away we go for Army Cadet, and Teddy Wilson starting from pole for the televised final with Johnny Edgar in the O-plate alongside Tom Wood and Alex McDade on row 2 from Owen Byatt and Owen Marlowe. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on Cian Jewis, 11th on the grid. He'll be charging through the pack, as too will Lewis Thompson, a little further back in the pack as well. This one going to be very interesting to see how we get underway, and it's a good start initially. Tom Wood and Teddy Wilson holding the front. There's a little bit of jostling in the pack, bit of loading as well, but everybody seems to have got through cleanly. That's Joe Turney we're on board with now as he looks towards Finley Bunce, and a little bit of a nudge and a very tight pack in through the first couple of corners. Teddy Wilson hits the front, Alan.
Teddy will be very happy with this because Cian Jewis, the championship leader, Teddy second coming in, has had an absolute nightmare of a weekend. He's only on P11 for this televised final, and Teddy Wilson with a chance to bag himself the championship lead as they all come round the tightest hairpin in the world, Jake.
Well, that's Turney making up 2 or 3 places on that turn, so he kept himself to the outside for the way through the left and then into the right-hander out of the dog leg, and that worked perfectly for him. He made up 2 or 3 places doing that. Fantastic stuff, as the O-plate, Johnny Edgar, has got Cian Jewis in front of him. So we said that Jewis will be making his way through the field. I didn't think he'd be doing it that quickly. That's an amazing start, right up in the top 6.
Yeah, and Johnny Edgar, therefore, by definition, he started at the front. He's had an absolutely, well, he's had a disastrous start. That's Ben Waldridge, the 57 from Ascot. Privateer, we interviewed Ben's mum a couple of seasons ago. Nice to see Ben now playing at the pointy end.
Absolutely, and he's having a great battle with Turney and with the number 9, Alex McDade, in that group as well. So some good battling towards the bottom end of the top 10, but well, this fantastically close Army Cadet season just keeps on giving, doesn't it? Zach Robertson right on the tail of Teddy Wilson in the 4, with the 3rd place man Tom Wood, the man backed up by Q8 Oils and Donington Park, of course, this year. They will be watching with interest to see how he goes, but it's Fusion 1 and 2 at the moment, with 4th place currently belonging to Owen Byatt, the other Fusion Motorsport ace. And, well, one man in a trio of Fusion Motorsport guys trying to hold his own. And that's going to be interesting to see how Tom Wood copes with the pressure here. Are they going to hustle him?
Yeah, Owen Byatt, another one of those drivers who's just starting to edge himself towards the front edge of the grid now. He's starting to play at the sharp end, and it's going off to, I think it's Lanzarote, where the team, his father, in fact, who is the series sponsor, is going to take the team off to test these Synergy karts that they're driving. Certainly Owen and people like Johnny Edgar on them very successfully. New kart to the karting fraternity in the last couple of seasons, but very unusual to have a kart that becomes very successful very quickly. But these Synergy karts doing particularly well, and I'm doing my best to get an invite to the testing in Lanzarote later in the year, Jake.
Nice gig if you can get it. Have you noticed though that Wilson and Robertson have actually pulled away a little now from Tom Wood? They've actually got a bit of a gap here. I mean, it's early days still, but they've managed to edge out a big advantage, which they've actually just lost through the dogleg. Tom Wood has started to come back to them again, but they've actually pulled away from the rest of the field at this early stage. That is big stuff, because it's moments like that, it's the rhythm of the flow of the karts like that that basically means that the race can be won or lost. Finn Keneally leading this trio with Dexter Patterson in there as well.
I think Finley Bunce made a place up in the corner. He did. 58 kart going through. Tom Wood's just lost the back of this pair, and he's on his own. He's sitting duck there, Tom Wood. Here's a picture from the helicam. You get a good overall indication here of the sort of lead that the two have. Wood there in third place, right out on his own. Other karts battling further back.
There is Finley Bunce as we ride on board with Joe Turney once again. Brilliant pictures of the little Rissington circuit. It's great to have this circuit back in Super 1. Absolutely
fantastic
great.
Track it is. Great overtaking all over the place. Nicely manicured this weekend, apart from one few weeds just in one little spot, but other than that, really nice circuit. Great racing here. Plenty of overtaking as a driver. That's what you want. It's a bit windy this weekend, Jake. It's right next to the old RAF Rissington airfield. Had to get permission from RAF Bryce Norton this weekend to fly the helicam.
Fourth position, that's Alex McDade moving up, and I think he's taken the 57 of Ben Wooldridge with him, so they are up to fourth and fifth position then. Very nicely done. What has happened to Cian Dewis and Johnny Edgar? They have fallen away from this pack at the moment, and it's going to be very interesting to see if they can actually get themselves back in this fight, because they're well out of the top six at the moment, a long way back from the lead, because Wood is, well, he's doing his best to hang on to the pair of Fusion Motorsport drivers in front, Teddy Wilson and Robertson, but look at them go.
Yeah, what a great shot that is. That dog leg, that's got to be the tightest hairpin in the world, isn't it? It's like a needle.
It is, absolutely. I certainly can't think of a car circuit where there's a hairpin as tight as that. I think you'd have to go to rallying to find a hairpin as tight as that. But Johnny Edgar, just taking a look at him, he's in 7th position at the moment, the O-plate, so he's knocking on the door of the top 6 behind the 38 of Byatt. So he's not far away, but that's definitely not where he wants to be. Now we're back at the sharp end. There's actually a little bit of a nudge there, it looked, from Robertson on the back of Teddy Wilson. Look at the gap they've pulled to Tom Wood. It looks like these two have got this one on a plate. Yeah,
these two teammates, of course, so they are trying to work together to create that gap, so they might have a little battle for it in the last 2 laps, but they don't want to be battling yet. They want to make sure they've got a decent enough gap back to the man in third place, who's Tom Wood. He's got plenty of work to do in third, working on his own. And you see he's being caught now, Jake. Cian Dewis, the 5 kart from Maidstone, the AIM Motorsport driver. He was the championship leader coming in, but if things stay like this, I don't think he's going to be the championship leader going out, as Finley Bunce makes up a place on the onboard cameraman Joe Turney.
Yes, indeed. Cian Dewis, of course, is the man who's trying to win both cadet championships at national level in the same season, which has never been done before, but he's decided, well, it's possible. I'm definitely one of the contenders, so I'm going to roll up my sleeves and go for it.
Well, Oliver York did it, of course, last year, but he didn't do it in a 4-stroke and a 2-stroke, which is what Cian Dewis is trying to do. That's never been done before, certainly.
So, great little battle here on the lower ends of the top 6. Plenty of drivers getting in the fight now as McDade desperately tries to hold this train through the double right-hander at the end of the bottom straight. Back with the leaders. Wilson just hanging 10 in front of Robertson as they continue to pull away from the rest of the field. Second in the championship currently, Teddy Wilson. Very, very strong competitor. Definitely one of the stars of the future to keep an eye out on. His teammate there, Zach Robertson from Northampton, Silverstone end of the woods. And, well, I think if you're born and raised in Northamptonshire, motor racing is very easy to get into your blood, isn't it? Silverstone and Rockingham.
Yeah, and look at this, Tom Wood now under pressure. He's been out on his own way too long, and they're working together behind to catch him up, and they're now right on him.
Well, this is it. Once you're in the clear air, you're in no man's land, aren't you? There's nothing you can do to close up on the guys in front, and you're a sitting duck to the men behind.
So it's Teddy Wilson that leads it from Robertson. You saw Robertson.
Now Robertson's having a go. Here we go into the last lap.
And he takes the lead down the inside. Last lap. What a move.
Timing. Absolutely. It's all about timing, and Zach Robertson goes for the lead. But Wilson, well, they are teammates, but they want to make sure that they are the men on top of their form. There's been a lot of talk in Formula 1 about Hamilton and Rosberg. Oh, my word, they've hit each other! Oh, dear, they've ruined it!
Incredible.
Oh, I don't believe it!
Robertson,
the teammates have hit each other! That is worse than Hamilton and Rosberg. Look at that on the inside. Robertson tries to defend, gets wide. Wilson goes for the inside line. He had his space to go for it, but they just tangled.
Yeah, if you look at that slow motion replay, Teddy was up the inside. He wasn't over the curb. You could clearly see that his inside right tyre was not on the curb. It came off the ground, and it was over tarmac at the time. Now what's going to happen after the race? He's taken the win and it's close between, well, Wood and McDade. Wood's stolen it on the line by 100th.
100th of a second from Alex McDade. That is very close. You can't really get closer than that.
Me and Zach sort of pushed away for about the whole race. We got a big gap on the end, and then it was sort of straightforward. And then on the last lap, he got past me, and then I got past him again. And then from there, I sort of had the lead for the rest of the race. So it was good, really good battle.
Me and Alex McDade worked together to try and drop the pack, which we did, and we just tussled it out on the last lap. And I think there was an incident up in front between the two teammates, so I'm really happy to get second. And I'd like to thank my sponsors, Q8 Oils, Donington Park, and everyone else who support me, including Arden Motorsport.
And we pushed and tried to catch the leaders, but we just weren't quick enough. And we battled it out on the last lap. And over there, the leaders had a battle, and Zach Robertson came off. So I was in third and Tom was in second. And on the last corner, I tried to get the cut back, but I didn't exactly work. I didn't get the best. I came third.
Well, you might have noticed on the graphic there, Teddy Wilson penalised a lap for gaining an unfair advantage. The championship points currently on hold. Coming up next, Junior TKM from Little Rissington.